Welcome back, everyone. I'm Emerson Hip. He's Gates Emoji, and this is the Intoxicated Sports Report. We are back in the studio, for just the second time in the last month and a half.
Hey,
feels great though.
What did I say last week? It's been a rough winter for this podcast.
Yeah, the bug has been hitting us.
But we're both good. You seem like you're better.
Much better.
I've been
Glad to
fine.
be feeling alive and well.
Yeah, compared to yesterday.
Yeah, that too. But we're here. We're back. Glad we were still able to do an episode last week.
Yes.
Didn't skip a beat in that regard.
No.
Thank you, everyone, for listening as well.
It's easy. For me, it's almost easier to do the...
It's much less setup and preparation.
Exactly. So, but I like being here.
Right.
I think it's easier for us. Like I cut you off a lot last week. I know I did.
It's just part of the lag, you know.
Exactly.
It's natural. I think I probably did it to you a couple times.
It's easier to do like this
Right.
with us right here, obviously, because I can tell when you're going to talk, and you can tell when I'm going to talk.
Exactly.
So hopefully it didn't sound too bad for you guys listening and watching last week. No one watched, but for you guys listening last week.
Yeah.
And thank you for our YouTube audience for understanding.
Yeah. All two of y'all.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, it's better than none. We appreciate you.
Yep. What a lovely little Sunday we had. It was a very many layers to that day.
It was a great day.
It was a really good day, though.
It was a great day. You want to lay it out for them?
Yeah, we started with the World Cup at Palisades, like we said.
We were inside Palisades at 6:50.
Yep.
In the morning.
Proud of us for that.
In the
one.
morning.
Yep. Ordering IPAs.
Oh yeah, I cracked open. I had a beer at 7.
Hey.
Like I said, what did I say last week? I was gonna have an IPA. I had 3 IPAs.
You did.
From a stretch from 7 to 11 o'clock, though.
Right,
So
right.
it's not like I was pounding them 3 an hour.
I can't believe I made it. I was awake at 2 in the morning and then again at 6:30 in the morning.
Very proud of you.
Yeah.
I can tell you were crashing hard when we got the Taylor releases.
Yes, yeah, I did not have much energy left.
So we went to Palisades, left Palisades, went to Napa Yard.
Yep.
First time I'd ever been there.
Cool.
Yeah, bad place.
Cool
I like
spot,
it.
yeah.
That's cool. We went to. Then we took a break.
Yeah.
We went home, gathered ourselves about half an hour,
Yeah.
and then went to Taylor and Elise's house to do the gingerbread house contest / white elephant. And I'm proud to say, Dylan K did not three-peat this year.
Yeah, the defending champs, they did not show that well.
Theirs looked really bad, and you know it looked bad when the people who are doing the gingerbread house say, "We're not going to win this year."
Right.
They went a different route. It was a little funky, but hey,
Right.
you know,
Try to be funny with it, which I respect.
You gotta try what you can to win. So,
Yeah.
and the official winners was it you, Danny, and Garrett?
Well, we won the no rules one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Although our house sucked ass, regardless.
I liked how the roof was just like rips, the candy rips.
Yeah.
I thought the true winner was Tyler and Allie.
Yeah.
I think they had the best one.
Yeah. Under the rules too. They did have a decent looking one.
Yeah.
It was just a lot of candy everywhere.
And it was nice for Taylor and Elise to host. Great little place they got.
I like their place. It's very modern and nice looking. And
Yeah, so the apartments behind Knob Hill.
Right.
The new apartments behind Knob Hill.
right. And for not being very big, the living space was actually pretty manageable.
Really nice. So we appreciate them for hosting, and the whole day was nice.
Yes.
And I actually, knowing me, you know how bad I get hangovers, right?
Right.
I woke up, and I gotta say, on the scale of 1 to 10, 1 being nothing, 10 being the worst, I was probably at like a 3.
Yeah.
Really wasn't bad. I think the fact that we spread it out.
Right.
And what I did was, I had beers at the beginning of the day. I also had beers at Napa Yard. I think I had like 1 or 2. And then once we got to Taylor and Lisa's, I switched to high noon / Fireball because we were drinking Fireball. So it
Right.
wasn't like I was going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Right.
And I just kind of stuck to one thing at a time. I think that's kind of what saved me.
Yeah. I had a lot to drink at Taylor and Lisa's, but I never legitimately had a drink in my hand. Except for I opened a high noon, and then I maybe drank half of it, and that was it.
Wow.
And then certainly had plenty of Fireball shots, and I iced myself. Thank you for that.
Yeah. What are we drinking?
So you got a taco truck, I got a Stella. It was pretty much just whatever was left in the fridge today.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah. And I am postponing my punishment once again for my Niner guarantee.
But we have another one for you later on that we'll get to, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, we'll do that when football conversation comes around.
And we're going to try to speed this one up a little bit today because we do have plans that we need to get to at 3.
Yep.
It's about 2:07 right now. And if you know us, you know that we don't do this thing quick.
This
so
is
we're
very,
going to try our best. try our best to speed through this, but not too fast.
Right. We'll make sure it's a worthy episode here. So we're not even going to say what's going on today. We're just going to dive right in. World Cup. It wrapped up on Sunday. Of course, we were there at Palisades watching. Unbelievable game, honestly. I think it was about as much as an average fan could ask for. Even a big soccer fan.
An average fan like I am, I would say. You're more of an average fan. Yeah. This is by far the best soccer match I've ever seen.
It was pretty incredible.
And how many soccer matches have I seen? Yeah. Probably maybe 10. You know what I mean?
Right.
But this was an incredible game.
I think the only thing that would have made it a little bit better is if it was more back and forth early in the game, because Argentina looked like they were kind of cruising.
Yeah, it was 2-0 for over the first half of the game.
Yeah, until the 79th minute, I think. But France really was giving them nothing for the first 70 minutes of the game. But yeah, so 2-0 at half, Argentina, which was I think a little bit of a surprise. I think France was maybe a slight favorite, but boy, when Mbappe got rolling in the second half, he was lightning.
If I'm a France fan, I'm thinking to myself, bro, like, thanks for giving us 3. Thanks for the Hattie.
Right.
But where were you at the beginning?
Right.
On that rate, you could have got 6.
Right. But yeah, so France came back and tied the game 2-2. Both Mbappe and Messi scored on penalty kicks in this game. I think Mbappe had 2 penalty kick goals. Yeah. Our PSG boys, they showed up.
And this has to be cool for them. Obviously they're the competitors at the highest level.
Right.
But I'm sure they dapped up before and after.
Yep.
Gave the respects.
Did you see the picture of them having to be on stage together? Like Mbappe had to be with the 3 Argentinian players that were getting awards.
Because he got an award.
Because he got the golden boot. Yeah.
That's got to be tough. It's got to be tough getting the golden boot and then just seeing the World Cup trophy right there. You're like, dude, we were this close.
Right.
And I got to say, I've said this before. I hate how it has to come down to the penalty kicks, and I get it because soccer, they would be running forever, and they don't want that. And I think the quality of the game would go way down if that was the case.
Right.
But I mean, as a France fan and a France player, you just gotta think like, man, it's gotta end like this.
Right. And they had chances at the end of extra time as well.
They had that last shot on goal.
That goalie
which came like what, the 129th minute it seemed like.
Yeah, or 23rd, I think it was.
Or because they played 125.
Well, it was 120, and then they had the stoppage time at the end. It was 3 extra minutes.
I mean, yeah, they were literally that close.
Right. So Leo, he finally got his World Cup. I mean, 2 goals and assists too. He had a huge impact on the game. The funny thing though is a lot of people felt like he needed this, but I don't know if that's fair to say, because especially in international play, you don't get to choose your team. Like I mean, sure, he could have, when he was younger, become a Spanish, citizen.
Oh, okay.
But for the most part, you don't really get to choose your team, unlike club, because in America we love to rate players based on how much they win, right?
Of course.
But that's like LeBron's got his rings, but he got to go to the Heat and join that team. Kevin Durant has 2 rings, but he got to go choose the Warriors. I don't think it's a fair comparison in this regard. I think this is a much tougher trophy to get as an.
I was just gonna say, I think it's just really extremely hard, to win this trophy.
And you could definitely be the greatest player of all time and not have this. I think.
I think that's why a lot of people think Pele is one of the greatest ever. He's got 3 of these.
Right.
And that's kind of why I wanted to see Mbappe win on Sunday, because he'd already have 2 at age 23 with plenty of time to try to tie Pele. Didn't happen for Mbappe,
but he definitely he brought it.
He brought it. He put his mark on it, and this dude, I mean, it's been said, he's only 23.
It's fucking pretty ridiculous.
It's just ridiculous, man. He's on that trajectory. He's on that GOAT trajectory. He has to be at this point, right? How can he not be?
He's on a good one for sure. I wonder how he ages, because he relies a lot on his speed and his physical traits, not so much his skill. I mean, not that he's not skilled; he's very skilled. But
did you see Messi? His first post of him winning the World Cup is now the most liked picture or pictures or whatever you can swipe ever on Instagram. Has like 61 million likes.
Damn, that's wild.
And you know what the world record was before that?
What's that?
Remember the world record egg? The picture of the egg everyone liked? They wanted to, so it was years ago. like probably 2019, 2018. And they wanted to. There's just like this picture. It's a picture of an egg.
Yeah.
And they wanted to break Kylie Jenner's record, which was like 18 million at the time. And so they did that. And then that was the record holder.
Is there anything special about this picture? I don't know if I.
No, it's just it's literally a picture of an egg. I liked it back in the day.
Did you?
Oh yeah. But shout out to Messi, breaking records left and right, whether it's Instagram or soccer.
Right. So I heard a lot of talk about this yesterday, about whether this was the greatest sporting event maybe ever. And I feel like maybe that's a little prisoner of the moment.
Like that match?
That game, yes.
Oh.
I mean, like I said, it's about as much as you could ask for in like a championship environment. But I feel like I've seen Super Bowls that were more epic than that.
Yeah, I think it depends on what kind of sport you like. Me, obviously, not.
Yeah, I like, it was a great game. I don't think there's any question. But I think even like my point earlier about France not really showing up until like the last half of the second half, I think that it was actually not that great of a game until then,
No.
Like this could have easily just been a 2-0 Argentina win and wouldn't even be in this conversation.
I mean, is it one of the greatest games I've ever watched in my life? It might be. It's probably like top.
It's probably up there.
Top 10, top 20, probably top 20 because I like other sports more.
Right. I think it definitely should get some kind of consideration, but I don't think that's a little quick to say.
Everything on the line too. Messi, the old goat.
Yeah, the storylines are great.
The storyline's good, and you got the new up and comers trying to get a second one already.
Yep.
So I mean, I won't go that far. I thought when I saw this, you were going to ask me if the World Cup as a whole was the greatest sporting event.
No. It is a good one, but I don't think it's. It would like my American bias couldn't say that.
No, exactly.
If the United States was competitive, it might intrigue me a little more, but they're not.
Palisades was 99% Argentina fans, and the 1% was Sal.
Yeah.
Love you, Sal. But I think everybody at that bar wanted to kick your ass towards the end.
Pretty much. I like how that guy who's not Argentinian came up to us when we're wearing our PSG shirts, and he's just assuming that we're French fans. And he's like, "Great game." I was like, "Oh, I forgot. I forgot I was wearing this. I'm not really rooting for France.
No.
I was here for a good game, and I got exactly what I wanted." World Cup's over. Back to club season. PSG should be resuming. I think they actually played a friendly the other day, but they'll resume play this week, I believe.
Nice.
Yeah.
Quick turnaround.
Back on the horse.
Yeah, wait, Messi's week hangover will probably be...
I bet both those guys don't play in that first game back.
Yeah. Which would be a bummer for people that go, because they're probably wanting to see them.
Right, yeah. All right, let's just get this baseball news out of the way. Giants have lost Carlos Rodon to the Yankees. What's new? Giants losing guys to the Yankees. But
I don't like the pinstripes.
Yeah. But, looking at this money, 6 years, $162 million, that feels like a contract that could go terribly wrong at any moment.
Well, let's hope so for Yankee fans. Maybe not for Rodon. I got nothing against him.
I got nothing against him.
He was a cool Giant for a year.
Yeah, he had some energy.
But for Yankee fans, I hope this is one of the worst contracts in the history of their franchise.
I just worry about when you watch him. When you watch him pitch, he puts a lot of energy behind every pitch.
Oh yeah,
like he just a lot of torque. And I feel like that could maybe it could have like the Tim Lincecum kind of effect.
We'll see
where he burns out, but we'll see. He was awesome last year, so good for him though. He got his money.
Yeah.
Also, Dansby Swanson, big contract with the Cubs, 7 years, $177 million. I know the Braves have been really good at bringing up young players lately, but I don't understand why they wouldn't want this guy back. Him and Freddie Freeman.
Well, I was going to say, you lose Freddie Freeman last year, and then now you're losing
Swanson.
Dansby.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not good.
You know what needs to happen more than replacing Swanson is Ronald Acuna needs to get back to his form, because he was not very good last year. Yeah. Well, not his usual self last year.
But come off an injury, though.
Yes, he was. That was a little baffling, but the Cubs got kind of a cornerstone type player, so good for them. They're looking to get back into the playoff mix. That division's a little bit suspect, so they got a chance, honestly.
Also, I think Dansby Swanson is the husband of the year because he goes to Chicago. Yeah. And where does his wife play for Major League? Or
what do they call it? The NWSL?
Yeah. She plays in Chicago as well.
Right.
You think he don't think it had anything to do with it?
Probably had a little something.
Hey, it's a good husband right there. They just got married.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think that has something to do with it, because you just get married, professional sports, anything can happen.
Right.
Or you can get traded anywhere. But they probably thought, we don't want to start our relationship in our marriage, or their marriage because they've been together for a while.
Right.
We don't want to start it when you're, in San Francisco or I'm in Chicago, because that doesn't seem like that's going to work.
Right.
So shout out to Dansby for getting his money and, securing the bag with his girl. Love that.
Yeah.
His wife is beautiful, by the way.
Yeah, she is very pretty.
She's very pretty.
Also, we got Justin Turner going to the Red Sox.
Later.
He's out of the division.
Bye.
Peace. But worse news, we have JD Martinez coming to the Dodgers. But Justin Turner's killed the Giants for a lot of years. JD Martinez, he's on the downward trend.
Justin Turner is one of those players, in my opinion, that when he has to play good or gets that clutch hit, he does.
Yeah, him and Max Muncy just have murdered the Giants.
Oh, Max Muncy for sure. Max Muncy was the new Adrian Gonzalez.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Because Justin Turner's career wasn't that good until he came to the Dodgers, right? Because he was on the Mets and he wasn't very good.
Yeah. He kind of made his hitting coach pretty famous by him turning his career around. Yeah. So
I will not be missing that guy at third because he would eat everything up too.
Right.
Good player. Red Sox, you got a good one.
Yeah. He is getting older though. He didn't have his best season last year, but still a decent production. Also, this is some interesting news at a Giants camp.
This is not good.
Yeah, today they were expected to be introducing Carlos Correa as a San Francisco Giant.
We were supposed to see the jersey, the number.
It's going to be number 1. I can feel it.
I think he was too.
They have postponed that introduction, and it's apparently due to medical concern.
I think you can explain this better than I can and maybe help me understand what this really means.
So, they of course agreed to terms, but it's always pending physical. Until that physical is complete, it's not official. And apparently it doesn't sound like that he's failed the physical, but there's a medical concern that's been brought up, and they had to postpone it. He's had a lot of back issues in his career, but the reports are that this is not a back issue.
So now could they both pull out of this?
I think the Giants could nix the deal, or they probably will maybe try to renegotiate it in some fashion. Maybe put some clauses in there based on injury.
So this hurts Carlos Correa more because Giants can say, well, if you can't pass your physical, we're going to give you all this money, this many years.
Exactly.
But couldn't Correa pull out and say, well, I'm going back to Minnesota, or is that not?
Well,
he already anywhere else, really.
Yeah, he already opted out of his contract with the Twins, so they could theoretically re-sign him,
but he would be essentially a free agent. The Giants were like,
the Giants said, sorry, no dice.
This stinks, and hopefully he still is a Giant. Everything's fine.
Right.
But this is why they do it, and I don't want somebody who's on my team who's getting this kind of money in this many years for him to be hurt.
Right.
This is not what any fan wants for any player. So whatever happens, but I just want Carlos Correa to be a Giant and be a healthy Giant.
Right.
At least to start.
Yeah.
After that.
If he gets hurt as a Giant, that's
different.
Yeah.
But I don't want him to start this career this new career with the Giants and not be healthy.
Yes,
so
I agree with that.
It's
wholeheartedly.
It stinks.
I think it's more just weird than stinky at this point. A little fishy. So we'll see how it goes.
Your guess?
My guess is the contract stays, and he's a Giant, but maybe they put a little clause in there or something. But I can imagine they give him less money. I think if they said hey, we want to renegotiate the whole contract, he'd probably back out.
He'd probably back out.
Yeah.
So they have to be careful as well.
Right.
Because they want this guy.
They do. Yes. I think they kind of just they needed someone, and he's a very good player.
And this was, people who were listening heard us live,
right?
Live when it happened,
right? And
we were stoked. Yeah. I think all of San Francisco and the Bay Area who are Giants fans were really happy about this because the Giants finally made a big time move. It's not like getting Barry Bonds or like Aaron Judge like a lot of us wanted,
right?
But it's still a really big time player, a winner.
I know you know Chris Russo, right? Big Giants fan, but he's Mad Dog, but he's a New York guy. But he's a huge Giants fan. He hates this contract. he called it the worst Giants move in the history of the franchise.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Not like AJ Przinsky or anything like that?
That wasn't that catastrophic.
What was his key, real quick, what was a reason that he said?
So he didn't like the fact that he has been a little bit hurt. Also was on a team that that cheated.
Wow. Get over that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree because Carlos Correa was one of the guys that was very willing to admit fault. So, out of all the guys, and being one of the younger guys in that group of Astros,
and I'm sure Mad Dog seeing this news.
Yeah, he's like,
get this,
cut it,
get this guy out of here.
Yeah. He also didn't like the fact that he's supposed to be the leader on the Twins last year, and they were leading the division all year, and then they crumbled in September.
So you're gonna blame that on Carlos Correa?
That one was a little bit of a stretch. I felt like. Teams fall apart all the time.
Exactly.
It can't be one guy's fault.
It's not like he's playing tennis.
Right.
It's just him.
Right.
It's the whole team.
Yeah.
He can't bat 9 times in a row.
Yep. No, yeah, I thought a lot of what he was saying was just being skeptical more than having legit.
Now let me guess, he would have been way happier with Judge, right?
Oh, if we got Judge, he'd probably be circle jerking himself.
Because Chris Russo is a Giants fan because of the New York Giants.
Yeah, I think
his dad
maybe
was
probably family related. Yeah, I'm guessing. Because he's not that old. I don't think he probably wasn't even alive when the Giants were in New York. Maybe for a little bit. Maybe that was like a tot.
It is weird seeing people who are. I'm assuming he's from the East Coast.
Right, he's in New York.
And being a fan of somebody who's 3,000 miles away.
Right. All right, that's what I got for baseball. Let's move on to college football. Yes. We'll make this short and sweet.
You didn't even want to pick these games.
Yeah, I mean they're just not very sexy.
No, they're not. But I love the names of these bowls. So
that's the only good part about this. Last week, Gage, you went 1-1. You got your boy Troy -2 against San Antonio.
I forgot about the whole Troy thing last week.
You lost on Washington State. They got scraped by Fresno State.
Fresno State, shout out Trent Dilfer.
Yeah. I went 0-2. Killer. Florida +10 didn't look so hot. They kicked a field goal at the end just to not get shut out.
You haven't been very good.
My college picks are fucking awful this year. I also lost on Cincinnati. They only scored once in that game.
So what's our...
So you're now 14-11. Not bad.
That's good.
Yeah, not bad at all. You're making money.
Yeah.
I'm 8-15-2.
The 2 gets me.
I know the 2 is just terrible.
You got 3 numbers in yours.
Yeah. I got the Sharks record on mine.
Oh boy, we don't talk about them a lot anymore. Anyway.
Gage, you can go first this week.
Okay, I'm gonna pick Baylor -4 versus Air Force in the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl.
You're not sticking with the Armed Forces team in this game?
Is that a coincidence, or does that always happen?
No, there's always an Armed Forces team. I don't want to make you feel bad about it.
That's fine. I just know. So I'll pick Baylor -4.
Baylor -4, got it. I'm going to take... I'm going to take Wake Forest -1 versus Missouri in the Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl.
Gasparilla. Yeah. What kind of name is that? That sounds like something I could make up.
Pretty much.
Okay, I'm going Wisconsin 3.5 versus Oklahoma State in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl.
I think it's a good pick. I guess I'll go San Diego State to cover 7 points against Middle Tennessee State in the Easy Post Hawaii Bowl.
These names.
Ridiculous. Terrible sponsors. What the fuck is Easy Post?
Little upset because the Potato Bowl is this morning. That is Emerson's.
Oh, we should have turned that on.
That is Emerson's favorite bowl.
It's the best non-legit bowl, of all time. And San Jose State's playing right now. We'll check the score.
Spartans, bitch.
Where's Garrett when you need him, man?
Who knows? But next week we are having our picks for college, and then big games.
We're gonna have all the New Year's 6 bowls on tap. It's gonna be good. Where's that scoreboard? Let's see. Eastern Michigan is kind of giving it to San Jose State, 30-13 at halftime.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Sorry, Garrett.
Yep. Sorry, bud.
Jeez.
And that's what we got for college football. Oh, also shout out to Frank Gore Jr.
Auntie, chill. Did you see that?
No.
He's like, Frank Gore Jr. is doing a post-game interview on the field. And he has all his teammates behind him, and his aunt starts like coming up with like these pom poms, going like, "Yeah, that's my nephew or whatever." And he looks back, he's like, "Auntie, chill." You haven't seen that?
I didn't see that.
Dude, it's hilarious. You got to see it.
But
it's like he said it as if she has done that so many times before.
Yeah, she's just always embarrassing him.
Yeah. Auntie chill. Oh, dude, I wish we had a soundboard because we would have that on the soundboard.
Oh Lord! But he had 329 rushing yards in their win against Rice.
Stunting like his daddy.
Stunting like his daddy. I think he had like 15 yards per carry in that game.
That's insane.
Just hand him the rock first down.
That's I was just gonna say that's a first down every rush. Yeah. Every rush. Hand the ball off, first down.
Give him the rock.
Give him the rock.
All right. NFL time, baby.
Do we have to?
Oh, yes, we do. It is a Victory Tuesday.
Not for me.
You did win something this week. Should we get this out of the way now?
No. Do you want to save it for last call?
No, I want to get buzzed on the show.
Okay, cool. So, as you know, or as some of you may know, Emerson and I played
in the semifinals
of the fantasy football league that we're in.
Yep.
I beat Emerson. Mm-hmm. And so if you listened last week, you would know that Emerson has this big bag of assorted shots.
Yep. Partial shout out to my cousin Taylor for hooking up some of this liquor. I bought some.
And we both bet a shot. We both bet 2 shots.
Right.
And so I get to pick both shots.
Right.
I'm really happy about this. Almost even forgot about this. Let's see. Where's the liquor? Definitely give me the pink lemonade Smirnoff. And then
this is probably going to be really good, honestly.
And then on top of that, what else you got here? I gotta give you something gross. Ooh. That's a huge one. That looks
is this still 50 milliliters? Or is it bigger?
Yeah, 50. And then on top of that, I'm going to give you Bailey's.
Which one do I have to take first?
That's your call.
Okay.
Actually, ideally, I want you to mix them, but I know you're not going to do that.
Yeah, just...
If you do it at the same time.
That's a
so we got some Bailey's here, which Bailey's is good.
Yep.
Not bad, but I want him to drink it either before or after the pink lemonade, which I don't think is going to taste very good for you.
I think it's going to be pretty hot.
You know what? I'm going to be fun. You pick one for me and I'll take one.
Okay. Yeah, this one for sure.
What?
Smirnoff Tamarind.
What the hell's that?
It's like a Mexican candy.
What the hell? Okay.
Here goes nothing.
Cheers.
Oh, this is going to be cash money. Ew.
You know what this tastes like?
Oh, that is gross.
Thank you. That's exactly what I wanted.
That's like fucking cough syrup.
Ooh. This tastes like those Mexican candies.
Yeah.
Like the mango that has the
spices on it.
Tahini, tahini type stuff on it. It's actually pretty good. Not too bad.
Oof. That's heartburn and a half right there.
Can I do another one of those?
Yeah.
No, you're good. You're good.
I don't think I've ever shot Bailey's before.
You haven't?
No, I can't say I have.
Yeah. You're a rookie. Here we go. That's an easy one. That's candy. So yeah, I beat you, what, was it 113 to 101?
Something in that range, yeah.
And so that means I go to the championship against Taylor.
You were in the championship last year.
Second year in a row. Hoping I can win, get my 3rd championship in the group.
You won back-to-back, right? Was that like 2018, 19 or something like that?
Maybe like 16, 17.
Oh, was it that long ago? Man, I thought you won one pretty recently.
No. But it's kind of funny when I go to the championships, it's back-to-back years.
Yeah.
I'm hoping I could not be the Buffalo Bills and actually win a championship.
Yeah.
The way I think of it is, at least I'm getting some money back.
Right.
Regardless.
Yeah, you've won money at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I still...
You'll get $100.
Well, you can minus it off what I owe you already, right?
Right.
So we'll do that. Right. So I'm excited. You know, Taylor's team's pretty good. He had a huge week. If he puts up another week like he did last week, I'm toast.
Yeah,
he put up 140. He bounced Arb, though. Arb looked like he was unbeatable.
Yeah. I mean, Arb didn't even have a bad week necessarily, but Taylor just had a monster week.
I told Arb from the beginning, the only reason why you're winning games right now is because of Lamar Jackson and what happened the past couple weeks.
Yeah.
Arb didn't win.
Yep.
So, sorry I had to do it to you, bro.
Hey, it's all good.
You know, it's all right.
Honestly, my team, at best, should have been in that position. Yeah. So I'm glad I get at least a chance to get my money back.
Taylor and I both five and the 6th seed to make it to the championship.
Yeah, look at that.
Pretty impressive.
But you guys were probably 2 and 3 in points scored this year, I would bet.
We were probably top 4, or something like that. So, looking forward to it. I'm gonna be really nervous for Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm either gonna be or on Saturday. Most of my players play on Saturday.
Yeah, well, all the games except for three. So I guess 4 if you got Monday night or on Saturday. So.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, better wake up early on Saturday instead of Sunday.
Taylor, you better be ready. I'm afraid he's gonna smoke me.
Yeah.
We'll see.
You have any Thursday night players? I think it's Jets and Jags.
I do not, unless I pick somebody up. But nobody will realistically start.
Right. All right. So speaking of Thursday night football, the Niners, they clinched the division by beating the Seahawks 21-13. Another solid game from Brock Purdy. Defense was outstanding.
I guess I didn't know Niners were so close to, or were this close to already clinching the division.
Well, so they are 3 games up with 3 games to go, but they've swept the Seahawks in the season series. So,
so if they would have the same record, Niners would win because they swept them.
Correct.
Got it. Yeah. Well, congrats to you. That's cool. I mean, I didn't like seeing this. I actually didn't watch really any of this game. The only thing I loved about this game was that my boy George Kittle, who was on my fantasy team, scored me 2 tutties.
He killed me.
Also, Tyler Lockett had a good game, but he'll be out this week because he broke something in his hand, which is not good for me.
I think he might be done for the year, actually.
Yeah.
But not that it matters.
Yeah. And then Geno Smith put up a good 15 spot. I'm okay with that. More than I thought. I almost picked up Mike White, who did not play this week. So glad that wasn't the case.
You would have been resorting to Zach Wilson?
Oh, dude, I don't know what I would have done. I don't know. I don't have to worry about that because it didn't happen. So. What are your takeaways?
I mean, the 7-game win streak, I said this the other day to, I can't remember who, but it might be about as dominant of a stretch as I've seen from the 49ers in the last, decade or so.
I think I didn't realize that their last loss was against the Chiefs.
Yeah.
When they got smoked, but after that, they've won 7 straight. It's impressive.
And their defense has been unbelievable.
And it's just, man, I know the Brock Purdy story is nice and it's cute. And he's playing. Like, I'm not going to talk shit. This guy can play.
Yeah.
Every time he walks on the field and plays is history.
Yeah.
But it's just really, as a fan or being how I am, a deep playoff run with Brock Purdy just doesn't really seem plausible.
It doesn't sound realistic, that's for sure. I'm just, the Niners are playing with house money at this point. Mm-hmm. They're running with what they got.
And it's just, I think I've said this to you before, either on or off air. Isn't it just, of course, you have this defense that looks like it doesn't look like it. It is damn good.
Right.
But you just don't have the quarterback that you really want.
I know.
Well, maybe in hindsight, Brock Purdy will be the guy. I don't know. Just right now, it doesn't seem that way. But if he goes, wins the Super Bowl, then I'll say this guy is really good, or the defense really helped him out, and his weapons did. But it's really hard for me to see him hoisting the trophy.
Right. I think you could argue that he's solidified his spot on the roster next year. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is not going to be a Niner next year for sure.
No. I think Brock Purdy solidified himself as at least a backup at the least in the league for years to come.
Right. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
He has job security.
Yeah. I would say at least two more years after this. I think though why I feel somewhat confident in the Niners doing something is the fact that Kyle Shanahan has always made the quarterback position as least important as possible.
Yeah.
If you catch my drift. Meaning that
he worries about other things that need to be.
He does everything that he can around the quarterback to make them as successful as possible without asking them to do more than asking them to do more than necessary.
Auntie, chill. You're good. No, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Because
honestly, Brock is, from what we've seen in the 2.5 games or almost 3 games really that he's played, he's not played both quarterbacks that were here before him.
And let's say Brock Purdy helps wins you guys a Super Bowl. Do you want him to be the quarterback going forward, or do you want to keep going with Trey Lance? And I know that's a really hard situation.
I think if Brock Purdy wins the Super Bowl, you have to start him next year.
He will start week 1 100%. He will be a Bay Area legend.
Right.
Maybe not, he's not going to be Steph Curry or Joe Montana, but he will be a legend along with John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan for drafting this guy last pick.
Right.
And do I think Brock Purdy would have got to the league as a free agent? Probably.
Yeah,
it's a cooler story. It's a cooler story that he was literally the last pick.
Yeah.
Like, I hope right now at his house or his apartment, wherever the hell he's living, I hope he has the Mr. Relevant jersey framed.
Yeah. I mean, how many Super Bowls does Steve Young have as a starter?
Yeah, one.
Yeah, right.
I mean, yeah. But I mean,
you could say those names in the same breath if you want.
That's true.
Not to say that he's.
That's true.
And
we've seen guys with great defense. We've seen the Brad Johnsons. We've seen the Trent Dilfers. Even Nick Foles.
Right.
Which I think Nick Foles is probably better than.
Yeah, I mean, he had a really good game. He won
Brad Johnson and Trent Dilfer. But we've seen guys.
I think it's been a while though since because those guys were early 2000s. It's been a long time since we've actually seen a defense truly just. Well, I mean, I guess maybe Peyton Manning's Broncos. You could argue. Everyone loved Peyton, and he had a legacy already. But
and you could say Russell Wilson, even though he
to some degree.
Russell was his second year that he won the Super Bowl. Right. That defense was dominant.
Right.
Like he didn't win. Like a defensive player won the Super Bowl MVP.
Right.
Just like Peyton Manning, Von Miller won the Super Bowl MVP.
Right.
And I'm sure in those two games for the Buccaneers when they won and the Ravens.
Ravens, yeah.
I'm sure defensive players probably won those too. I don't think the quarterbacks won either of those.
Yeah.
So Niners looking good. They are. It's kind of scary. You know, just it seems like I'm living a Groundhog Day every year. Just the Niners are just gonna.
I can't believe they won 7 straight. My gripe with this team this whole year is how inconsistent they were until now they won 7 in a row. And what can I say?
I've kind of doing the top 6. I looked at your guys' schedule and you guys. I'm not saying you guys have like a cupcake schedule because the Cowboys do too, but it's not like you guys beat the Chargers and they're a decent team. I mean, he lost to the Chiefs.
Newsflash, I don't have the Niners in my top 6.
Okay, so. That's all. I'm just you got to. I always say you play who's in front of you.
Right.
The Niners have done that.
Yeah.
But it's not like you guys have played a gauntlet yet.
Right.
Maybe once the playoffs come, you guys win a couple games there. I'll be like, okay, this team is legit.
Right.
So we'll see when it gets.
The NFC also stinks. I mean, it's the Niners, Cowboys, and Eagles that are pretty good. Everyone else is like,
the Vikings. I mean, the Vikings. I know you.
Fuck the Vikings.
Okay.
I don't even hate the Vikings. I can't believe this team's 11-3.
You're talking about the team that was down 33-0 and didn't lay on its back.
No, I mean, hey, credit to them. They won the game.
You think the Niners could have came down from 33-0?
I think the Colts kind of, no, I don't think so.
But I don't think. I mean, it's just. Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
Yeah, but I think they're really more like an 8-6, 9-5 team, not an 11-3.
Okay, that's fair. So, there's been a few wins that they've had.
I mean, they literally have scored 2 more points than their opponents this season. That's unfucking real.
I still think you should pay a little bit of respect to.
I mean, I'll give it to them. They found ways to win games, which is important, but I just don't know how sustainable they are.
Will they be in the championship game? I don't think so.
Absolutely not. They'll probably lose in the first round.
We'll see.
Oh, I should say that. They might win it. A home playoff game.
We will see. So my Cowboys lost to the Jags. Long story short, this sucks. They were up 17 at one point in this game.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott, what are my notes? Let's see. He's 2 interceptions a game right now. That's pretty much what he is. He's going to throw 2 picks. I know the second one off Noah Brown in overtime was a pick 6.
That one's tough.
Not really Dak's fault. Noah Brown should probably catch that.
Yeah.
It just doesn't look good on the stat sheet. As of right now, and I do this probably every other week, the Cowboys are not a true contender to me. They're in my top 6, but they're not a true contender.
I mean, the fact that they're not going to get any home games in the playoffs sucks.
Yeah.
For them, because I think they're pretty good.
At this point, the Eagles are going to win the division. They're 2 games up,
right?
Or 2 wins up on the Cowboys, and they do play this week.
3 wins up on the Cowboys.
3 wins, excuse me.
Even if the Cowboys beat them, they're still 2 games back.
Yeah, it's just not nice. But so when we were at Napa Yard, I mean, you guys were talking shit. But even before that, I was fucking bitter. I apologized to Devin yesterday. I was like, I want to apologize because I was bitter when we first got to Napa Yard. I was not happy. I was pissed. I was fucking so.
Had it already happened when we got there, or was it happening?
When I was standing in line to get a drink, is when I checked the score and it said that it was a final.
Okay.
And I was like, damn. I was like, was it pick 6? And then it was.
Yeah, of course.
And so at that point in time, I was like, this sucks. I was really kind of hoping for the 1 seed possibly and winning the division.
Yeah, I mean, that's always huge.
But then the night rolled around. Giants Commanders. I forget who won that game. Was it
Giants?
Giants did.
Yeah. A little suspect win.
And so that, I did, yeah, kind of.
There were some calls that didn't get called. Yeah.
But the Cowboys clinched a playoff berth from that game, so it wasn't all bad the whole day.
Right.
And so, I mean, I think the Cowboys are going to the playoffs back-to-back years for the first time since like 06, 07.
Is that right?
So I'm cool with that. It's just, and I know the Jags are up and coming, but they still have that stigma of
they're the Jags.
They're the Jags. You should always beat them. They should always lose. But the Jags right now
I think the Jags and the Lions are very similar positions as far as they're not the same team that you just assume they are.
The Jags control their destiny, and they will. If they win out, they make the playoffs. Did you have a bold prediction that said they make the playoffs this year? There you go. Okay, I like that one. I like that.
How could I forget?
Cowboys play the Eagles this week. Christmas Eve. They're going to ruin my Christmas once again. Can't wait.
Stupid.
But Jalen Hurts might not play. He's questionable.
Yeah, he did say today that there's a good chance. Or not a good chance. There's a chance he can play.
Wouldn't it be ironic if the first time they play Cooper Rush, the Eagles, and then when the Cowboys play the Eagles, they play Gardner Minshew?
Right. I don't think he should play because they have nothing to lose at this point.
Exactly.
They're pretty much.
They should rest him.
They're damn near locked into the 1 seed because they have the 2-game lead on Minnesota plus the tiebreaker.
And then it'd be even then it'd be even funnier for if they meet in the playoffs for some reason, and they finally get to play with both their quarterbacks against each other, just to see how it really is. Because when you play backups, it's hard to say, or hard to depict how good it really was, or how good the win was, or this and that.
Right.
But I just want to see Dak and Jalen play against each other.
They do,
especially when Jalen Hurts is borderline MVP.
If they're stupid enough to play Jalen Hurts in this game, the Cowboys need to be head on for sure. I mean, not in but they just need to be trying to lay a hit on him every time they can.
They should.
Yeah.
Because exactly. Because the Cowboys are going to win the division.
Right.
So they might as well just. I mean,
I don't like
rough them up a little bit. Rough them up a little bit.
I don't like talking dirty in that respect, but they need to not lay off.
I'm talking a good 2 seconds after the ball's out of his hand.
Yeah, that's right.
Knock him down.
Yeah, take
knock
the flight.
him down. Just make sure Micah Parsons doesn't do that every time, so he gets suspended or something. Make sure everybody else, DeMarcus Lawrence, boom.
Yeah.
Micah Parsons, boom.
Yeah. Van Der Esch blitz, boom.
We'll see. We'll see how that game goes. Yeah. If Gardner Minshew beats the Cowboys are cooked.
Yeah. That'd be bad.
That'd be bad. Be real bad.
So let's talk about the Vikings pulling out that victory real quick. I know we already mentioned it, but unbelievable. Largest comeback in NFL history. They were down 33-0 to the Colts, which is when I turned this game on, I'm like, God, look at those fans in the stands. They had to come watch their team do this. And then they came back and won.
I was texting Jeremy throughout this whole game. Beginning, he was like, "Yeah, I turned it off. I'm done with it."
Oh, did he?
And I texted him back. I was like, "Hey, you should probably turn this back on." He's like, "Yeah, I already turned it back on." But you got to give it to the Vikings, man.
Pretty incredible.
They came back from they were down 33-0 in this game.
I know people have been beating this horse, but I mean, Matt Ryan's been on the wrong end of 2 of these games.
Well, yeah, he's now part of the largest Super Bowl comeback and then the largest comeback in the history of the NFL.
That's crazy.
It's just so our boy Jeff Sunday, who was actually Jeff Saturday this week.
Yes, he was.
They won that first game against the Raiders. We're like, dude, did the Colts have something?
They're right.
And they've lost every game since.
Right. And let's see, they gave up 33 points in the fourth quarter of that game against the Cowboys, right? And then they did, this against the fucking Vikings.
If I was a head coach, I wouldn't even want to talk to anybody after this game. I'm not talking to the media. Yeah. I'm not talking to my wife. I'm not even talking to my kids.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
Yeah.
I'm going to bed.
He should want to quit, right now.
They should have fired him on the spot after. I know you made a good point. Yeah. You're not gonna have 2 different head coaches, 3 different head coaches in a season.
Yeah, you can't do that.
But
he never should have been ahead in the first place.
No, that's
pretty
bad. Your boy Jim Irsay should have said like, dude, deuces.
Right.
You're out of here. You can't coach his team.
But this to me is less about Jeff Saturday. It's more about Jim Irsay being a dumbass and hiring him in the first place.
Yeah. No. That's true.
I mean, he was the one willing to pick this guy basically off the street to coach his team. So, Jeff Saturday I do not believe was inquiring about this job. So, I mean, he was even surprised when he got the call.
Yeah. A couple other things I have real quick is the Buccaneers have their 8th loss of the season. And that gives Tom Brady the most regular season losses in a season in his career.
Damn.
And that goes back to what you said about Tom Brady a couple weeks ago about how good he really was.
Yeah.
I mean, an 8-loss season is not that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I'd make you 8-8, and Tom Brady has probably never been 8-8 in his career. He hasn't.
Right.
I'm used to 8-8 seasons, so that's just, I just saw him like, wow, that's pretty crazy, yeah.
Like you'd think you'd have one losing season somewhere in there.
Exactly. Yeah. Justin Fields has rushed for over 1,000 yards this season. He's the third quarterback to ever do so in a season.
He's been going off.
Behind Lamar Jackson and Michael Vick.
Did you see his 50-yard touchdown run he had? Yeah, ridiculous.
I saw actually Sean Jordan. I like to talk about this guy.
Yeah.
He was saying how he wants to imagine a situation where the Niners would have drafted Justin Fields. Yeah. Do you feel that way? Do you wish the Niners would have drafted him?
I mean, he looks a hell of a lot better than Trey Lance has in his short tenure.
There's a little bit. Also, the Rams, our pick out of the NFC this year, are
10 losses
out of the playoffs. They are officially eliminated. That means we will not have a perfect Super Bowl pick. Our Bills are still doing good though.
Yeah, the Cardinals look pretty sick too. 4-10 as well.
Yeah, that one's pretty bad too. I don't think I can ever recall seeing a Super Bowl champion the next season just fall that bad. So that means there's gonna be a guaranteed champion this year.
Right.
No repeat champion again.
NFL's pretty good at that.
Pretty good at that. Yeah. Not good. That's. I mean, they're already out.
They're done. So I got to claim you saw the Patriots lose that game to the Raiders.
We were watching the same game, but I was looking away from the TV and you're like, dude, did you see that?
Yeah. I think I believe it is the worst play maybe in NFL history. Just considering the circumstances. Like, they weren't losing the game, so they didn't have to.
It could have was overtime.
It easily should have been in overtime. And they just. Jacoby Myers is really the one who fucked it up.
He was throwing it back to Mac Jones as if Mac Jones could throw it forward again.
Right.
He can't.
Yeah, obviously.
Once you start laterally, you can't throw forward anymore.
And then Chandler Jones, I guess, picks it off. I don't know what you call that. Or is that a fumble recovery? And just, he stiff-armed the hell out of Mac Jones and took him to the house.
Put him down.
He put him
down.
Put him in the dirt. It was an awesome play to watch, but I just couldn't believe what I was seeing.
That's an unbelievable game. And you know who was at the game was Tyler Andrews. And
Ouch.
I get Taylor and Stone were saying that he was fourth row, and I couldn't even. Can you imagine being at that game for that moment?
Yeah.
The whole place has got to be jumping.
Dude, yeah. I don't even like watching Derek Carr's reaction to it was like, are you actually that excited, or like you shouldn't have won the game that way? There's no way. Like they were getting ready for overtime. He's like, whoa, we're not going.
That's why you play. That's why you play every second.
Right. That was just a total failure by New England.
That was
not Bill Belichick team.
Also, shout out to Chandler Jones for catching that ball that was thrown like 35 yards on the fly.
Right.
He's got some hands.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Just plucked it. All right, Gage, who's your player of the week?
My player of the week, Kirk Cousins, Perk Thuggins, Perk Cousins. 460 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. And when you lead your team to the largest comeback in NFL history, you deserve to be my player of the week.
There you go. Good for him. I'm going to rub it in and give my player of the week to Trevor Lawrence. 318 yards, 4 touchdowns. In his last 6 games, the Jags are 4-2. He's got 14 touchdowns to 1 interception. Wow. Averaging 280 yards passing per game. And he's completing 70% of his passes.
It's almost as if he's starting to look like the quarterback we thought he was going to be.
It's almost looking like the Jags might go to the playoffs, like I said. Wasn't looking good a few weeks ago. But
no.
Look at them. Look at them go. Yeah, no, it's exciting for him. I think as much as a dumpster fire as the Jags franchise has been, they need the playoffs. They need some activity.
Yes, they do.
They need some action.
Doug Pearson's a good coach.
It's
gonna take a couple years.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, he screwed up the Carson Wentz, Jalen Hurts situation for sure in Philly, but he's got his man now, and he's looking pretty good. I think that went in.
That did go. That was a nice shot.
All right, let's do our NFL top 6. Gage, you want to go first?
Yes, I do. Actually, mine's the same again, and I hate saying that. Okay, so last week I totally whiffed. You called me out. I still feel like an idiot for it. I didn't think. I thought the Vikings were going to lose and the Cowboys were going to win, so I was like, okay, so something's definitely going to shift. Yeah. Wasn't the case, so my top 6 is the Eagles, Vikings, Bills, Chiefs, Cowboys, and Bengals. Once again, I think I did my homework, and I think this is okay.
Yeah, I mean, I almost feel like it's a 6-way tie for second place for me. Mm-hmm. But I actually didn't change much at all. I moved the Ravens out of the 6th spot and put the Bengals in the 6th spot. But other than that, my top 5 is still the same. I got Eagles, Bills, Cowboys, Chiefs, and then I got the Vikings on the outside looking in right now.
Okay.
To me, I could have moved the Chiefs above the Cowboys based on the results this week, but I mean, both their games went to overtime. They were both basically tied at regulation, so it's like this bad tip ball, and the Cowboys lose the game. So I didn't find that to be much of a resume changer. To me, the Chiefs' wins are only okay. I mean, they beat the Niners. That's a good win, but that's, they've swept the Chargers. That's about it for me. And then your Cowboys have wins over Minnesota and Cincinnati, so that's to me that's better than what the Vikings got.
All right.
Okie dokie.
On to the picks. How did we do last week? I know I went 2-1.
Yeah, you went 2-1. I went not 2-1. I went 1-2.
Oh, okay, that's classic ISR right there.
That is us in a nutshell. But yeah, good for you, Gage. 2-1, winning week, back on track.
Thank you.
You got Cleveland -3 versus Baltimore. That was a really ugly game. Did you watch that?
Yeah, it was terrible.
That was the worst game of Saturday. The other 2 games were great. You also got Detroit, late comeback win against the Jets.
I love those even lines.
That even line, yeah. I know you get baited by that even line all the time.
I do. I really do.
Zach Wilson almost had it, too.
50-50 shot, man.
Zach Wilson almost had it. It would have been great if that game tied.
Mike White would have won that game.
Mike White, yeah. You did lose on Philadelphia -9 versus Chicago. They did win the game, but did not cover, my only win was Cincinnati covering 3.5 against Tampa Bay. Joe Burrow's on fire, about as hot as the Niners.
Joe Burrow's looking like Joe Burrow.
He is, yeah. So now I'm wrong on the Bengals.
Joe Burrow that's right. Joe Burrow he's just a fucking winner.
He's a G.
He's a G.
He's a G.
He's a G. He's got a little Tom Brady in him. Like he finds a way.
Yeah, he
just kind of finds a way.
He's that guy. I took the bait on Seattle, and the Niners won pretty convincingly, so I'll take that loss like a man. Also, Carolina, they let me down against Pittsburgh. I think they lost outright, even though they were 2.5-point favorites. And here we are in Week 16. Gage, you want to go first?
I'm picking the Thursday game this week. I'm picking the Jags. Your Jags.
Me too, baby.
Trevor Lawrence +1 versus the Jets. I like that. I like that a lot. I'm picking the Titans -5 against the Texans. Texans, they've been playing good games, but
maybe this is the week that they let up.
Yeah,
they've been testing some good teams.
And I'm picking the Bengals -3.5 versus Patriots.
All right. I'm also taking the Jags +1 against the Jets. And then I've got Miami -4.5 against Green Bay. Miami's 5-1 at home. Green Bay is 2-5 on the road.
Okay.
So I like that number. Pretty, 1 touchdown cover, easy. Also, I'm taking the Browns at home -2.5 against the Saints. Saints are kind of a dumpster right now.
Yeah,
so
they're not good.
I mean, the Browns aren't much better, but they're 2.5 points better.
Did you see our overall record already?
So you are now 21-24. You're striking distance of 500. I am 19-26. You got a 2-game lead.
With how many weeks left to go?
We got 3 weeks left, so 9 games.
You're 19-26?
Yeah.
Wow. I guess that makes sense, but that doesn't look good on the stat sheet.
I mean, yeah, 7 under. I mean, the fact that I can say I'm only 2 games behind you, but I'm 7 games under 500 and you're only 3, it sounds weird, but
yeah. And how many more weeks do we have left?
We got 3, if you include this one, and so that means 9 games.
Yeah, we could break even.
Yeah.
We could break even.
I mean, I would love to be 500, but that's going to be a tall order. I'd have to go 8-1 the rest of the way.
Oh, shit. But we're not getting rid of this segment.
No. I think we righted the ship a little bit.
Yeah.
Kept this thing alive for 2023.
That 0-3 last week fucked me.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah, I did.
That was bad.
Can't lie.
Not good.
You weren't even really close on most of the games.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Okay. It's time for what, Gage?
That was easy.
Last call, baby.
Woo, we made it.
I don't have anything.
Really?
I had me gloating about beating you,
Yeah.
but we already talked about it.
We did that already. Yeah. Sorry, just steal that from me. So Alex Ovechkin reached 800 goals literally right after our last episode.
You got a hat trick.
Got a hattie. He was at 797. Whoever showed up to that game probably did not think they were going to get to see 800 for Ovechkin, but they got a steal on that ticket.
I mean, out of all the wins that you've seen the Sharks have live, you've probably never seen a hat trick.
Did you?
that you can remember? Whether it's the home team or the away team?
I don't think I've seen a hat trick.
Hat tricks, I feel like they're tough, man.
They're tough. But I mean, this guy's a fucking...
Well, it's Ovechkin.
It's Ovechkin, yeah.
And this...
He's the guy, he's the type of guy to have a hat trick to get a milestone.
Third player all time to have 800 goals. I think he's only, what, 3 or...
He's right on Gordie Howe's tail right now.
He's at past Gordie Howe this season.
Right. And then he's got Gretzky in his sights, baby.
Bold prediction.
Yes, sir.
Bold prediction.
It's coming. I can feel it.
That's going to be there.
Dude, bro, I'm not even going to say it.
What?
I was going to say it. If this guy, like, gets hurt or something...
No, he's good. He's good. He's good. Knock on wood.
Yeah. I also got one little story from last night.
Last night?
So I went to dinner with my parents at Bistro Gentil in Yountville.
I don't think I've ever been there, but I've always...
I didn't think I think that was the first time I've ever been there.
Yeah.
Very good food. I had one of their specials. It was quite tasty. But regardless, we're walking out after.
Yeah.
And also great service from them, by the way. John and Jeff, they took great care of us. So shout out to them. But we're walking out.
And this is it's a high-end restaurant.
It's a pretty average Yountville restaurant. As
Good.
far as like prices and all
Okay,
that.
gotcha.
Yeah. Like you can get a $30 entree. But we're walking out and there's these kids that are probably in their like early to mid 20s. Walking these three guys. And they're like, "Hey, do you guys see who was in there? It was Klay Thompson." And my mom's like, "What?" Because my mom loves Klay Thompson.
Yeah.
and
he wasn't in it.
And well, there's no way because the Warriors are on the road right now.
Oh.
But I didn't really think about that until afterwards. And my mom was about to storm back in there, and my dad's like, "No, we're not going to see him." But my mom's like to the guys, she's like, "Do you guys realize how much I love Klay Thompson?" and one of the kids is like, "Oh yeah, he actually fucked my sister once." He said that to my mom.
So these kids were just talking out of their ass.
They were just totally out of their minds.
Dude, it takes some balls to just say that to somebody you don't know.
I know, right?
I mean, even when I was like a little punk.
I mean, they were kind of walking away, but yeah, still.
Even did you laugh when you said?
Oh, I totally, yeah. Me and my dad were like cracking up.
And then she probably realized, oh, I've just been duped.
Yeah, pretty much.
Maybe it was fake Clay.
Yeah, oh yeah, that guy.
The guy who can just walk into Chase Center and start shooting buckets.
Dude, that's fucking hilarious.
Dude, that is... Yeah, you fucked my sister once. I wouldn't put it past Klay Thompson to do something like that, but I don't think it really fucked that kid's sister. So,
do you remember when we went to Santa Barbara, though, when we met those kids that went to high school with him?
No.
Okay, maybe... I feel like you were there, but maybe not. Yeah.
No.
They were like a few years younger than him, so he was like a senior when they were freshman or sophomore. But yeah, they went to high school with him. They said he was a total stoner. Which I believe, for sure.
That's funny. That's a funny story. I'm glad you remembered to say that. That's good.
All right, look at us. Sub-hour episode.
That's it.
It's unbelievable.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching.
We're glad to be back on the cam.
Yep, stay tuned next week. Big things coming.
Yep, last episode of 2023 next week. Or 2022. Sorry.
Look at us.
Yeah.
This podcast has lasted
2.5 years.
2.5 years. Look at us.
Unbelievable.
Looking good, feeling good.
Feeling great. Cheers.
Cheers.
We'll see you next week.